Hey guys, so this is part 2 of What If Deku Had Spider-Man's Powers, part 2. Now, basically, last time I left off, and also guys, this little update, I actually will not be doing that What If What If Tom Holland Spider-Man had Quicksilver's powers, because I don't see how that would change. It would change a couple stuff, but I just don't know how I would do it. So yeah. Sorry, buddy, if you requested that. You can request something else, pretty much anything else, but no. So yeah, let's get into the what if. Now, basically Deku's hair costume, I'll get into Deku's hair costume later. So yeah, so basically we start off Deku's, whole entire day, him going back to school the next day after the night he had in part 2, when he went up against, some of his villains. Now, Deku is going to still go up against his villains, even when he becomes, an official hero. Now, basically, his villains uh, in part 3, Spider-Man's villains will be in part 3, and I think I will be introducing Venom in part 5. Yeah, part 5. So basically, Deku goes, to school the next day, walks in the class, and the rest of the class is pretty normal until All Might shows up in class and explains to the class they're doing quirk assessments. Quirk training. So everybody gets ready, and everybody gets started, and geared up. They get handed their hero costumes, and Deku's hero costume is a little bit different than, the original Spider-Man costume. Now, Deku's hero costume is basically exactly the same as the original Spider-Man, but Deku's hero costume is based off, or looks exactly like the Ultimate Spider-Man artwork. So yeah, so basically the Ultimate Spider-Man artwork is what Deku's hero costume is inspired from. So Deku has big, wide eyes, like in the Ultimate series. Basically something like that. Deku's hair costume looks pretty much like having the same red pattern, web pattern, also having the same eyes and spider logo, looking all the same. Now Deku's hair costume is made out of fabric, or a latex that is very soft in the middle, and inside of the suit, but also it's fireproof. His suit's fireproof, and also some of the parts of it is bulletproof, but not all of them. So yeah, but Deku doesn't really need a bulletproof suit because he can already dodge bullets. Because he found out he can dodge bullets while he, was in, doing that whole entire vigilante stuff. So yeah. So Deku's hero costume also has little tiny holes for his web shooters to come out of his suit. And basically everything else is basically nothing really different with his suit. Nothing really different. Deku does have, tech-based, or, high-tech lenses in his mask. But he also has an extra mask that is, old-fashioned, so if somebody with an electrical quirk messes with his sight, Deku could just, switch out his mask, or just take his mask out all completely. So, yeah. So, guys, let's get into it. So, basically, Deku is commenting on his hero costume, saying that it looks really original. It looks sort of like a superhero from America. But pretty much, they scoff that off. Now, basically, they get ready and they get started. So, they asked everybody to get ready and get teamed up. Deku's teamed up with Ochaku still. And also, guys, you guys gave me the ship. Now, guys, I will be including the ship later on in the What If. But for now, pretty much everybody gets shipped up the same. And they get started. So, basically, this is the ship you guys wanted Deku to be shipped with. So, yeah. So, basically, I'll get into her side of the story and how Deku and her will, get a relationship. But for now, we focus on Deku a little bit more. So Deku gets started, and they get ready. So Deku, pretty much gets teamed up with Ochaku, and Mirko is actually there as, another, a helping hand to Ozawa. Pretty much Mirko is introduced into the class in the beginning next to All Might, pretty much being a subordinate or, a helper or extra hands for Ozawa to help the students out when Ozawa, wants to take a nap or something. So yeah. So basically they get ready, and Deku pretty much tells Ochaku to hold off Ida while I go when you take down Bakugo. So basically Ochaku grabs Deku and says, so I'm supposed to just take down Ida by myself. Deku says, come with me. And pretty much, she chases after Deku. Deku's running around, and eventually they come across, Bakugo. Bakugo takes out his gauntlet, pretty much, angry at Deku that he's hid his true power from him, pretty much pulling the gauntlet off the bat. Deku dodges it, but Ochaku gets pushed back, and gets pushed back into another room. Ochaku gains back consciousness a couple minutes after he gets blown through the room, and pretty much Deku says, get out of here and take down Ida while I, handle Bakugo. So she sprints off, and Deku goes in a fighting position right next, right in front of Bakugo. Now Deku already knows that he's gonna win this fight because, well, he's been fighting people that are 10 times stronger and more dangerous than Bakugo. They get ready, and Bakugo runs over to Deku saying, I'm going to kill you, and Deku scoffs at this. Deku dodges his first attack, pretty much grabbing Bakugo's collar and throwing him into a wall. Bakugo gets back up and throws a huge explosion, not using his gauntlet, towards Deku. Deku dodges it instantly because it's, his enhanced spider sense, and grabs Bakugo by the collar again and throws him down to the ground, making a crater, a little tiny crater. So Deku says, stay down, and Bakugo takes out his other goblet and pulls it again, and uses his other goblet with a little bit of sweat in it, pulling it again on Deku's face. Deku's mask gets ripped up a little bit, and pretty much Bakugo starts punching Deku non-stop, not letting Deku move. Just punching and punching and punching, and starting throwing explosions as he punches, making Deku, getting bruised up and ripping his costume. Deku, costume isn't going to be changed out, it's just going to be re-sewn. But Deku, pretty much his suit gets ripped and ripped and ripped. And pretty much Deku at this point looks like, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in Spider-Man 3 near the end of the movie. So basically, Deku pretty much grabs, Bakugo's, a right punch that he's about to throw, and breaks his arm with one uppercut, like straight into his elbow. He does an uppercut into his elbow and breaks his arm. The bone even almost pops out of Bakugo's skin. Bakugo falls onto the ground. A couple minutes later, Deku sees that, Bakugo's going into shock. Deku, calls medical, and pretty much they said to get Bakugo out of here. They take care of Bakugo. Bakugo's arm is fixed, and basically Bakugo, goes to, the nurse. The nurse fixes up Bakugo in a couple minutes, and Bakugo's, brand new. Nothing really, happen permanently to Bakugo. Deku starts running up the stairs and seeing that Ida, is running around with the bomb, running away from Ochaku. Deku runs over to Ida, crawling on top of the pillars and rubbing around, webbing Ida to his, rubbing Ida's foot to the wall, because Ida was about, jump off the wall and hit Deku like an uppercut kick. And pretty much Deku grabs Ida by the engine legs and pretty much chucks him into the ground, knocking him out. He grabs the bomb as it falls onto the ground, and they win. So, villain team loses and hero team wins. So they go, back home after that, and Deku pretty much, is walking home. Deku's walking home, and he gets stopped by, some sort of explosion. Deku looks behind himself, and he sees that it was a explosion at pretty much, what was it? A lab that, a lab that Octavius or the Oscorp owned. Pretty much Deku, sees this as a, challenge, and pretty much takes out a new vigilante suit that he made. So basically, guys, Deku dons his new Scarlet Spider suit that he, worked on doing his whole entire, ignition for his hero costume. So Deku worked on this here costume, trying to make himself look more menacing and bring fear into his opponents as he does his vigilante stuff. So Deku still keeps, a certain level of, you know, niceness to his outfit, and then, fear to his, outfit as well. Kind of like how, you know, kind of like how black suited Spider-Man worked. So Deku basically dons his suit as his vigilante outfit. Now Deku will be donning the Superior Spider-Man suit when he does, that Superior Spider-Man arc that I'm going to be making for, later on in the What If. So Deku runs towards, runs towards the explosion, whipping and spinning all around. Deku's, swinging all sorts of stuff. Now Deku has a darkish red in his outfit, so Deku, blends into the darkness of the shadows at the nighttime as he goes into vigilante work more, sleekly. Not as good as this black suited Spider-Man suit, but good enough to, sneak away from pro heroes that are trying to chase him down. So he webs over to the explosion building and pretty much starts webbing up, bad guys that are, running out of the building with some crates saying that we have to get this to the boss. So Deku runs in there and he sees that it's Electro inside the building, kicking some cans over and electrocuting them. And he sees a man with some sort of robotic arms on his back. Deku runs over to the man, and the man sees Deku out of, his rear view glasses and pretty much hits Deku right in the chest with one of the mechanical arms, knocking him into a pillar inside the building. Deku gets back up, seeing that, the pretty much the staircase that was holding the pillar that was holding up the staircase pretty much fell on top of Deku. Deku burst out of the staircase and pretty much run towards the man with the robotic arms. The man started kicking Deku, punching Deku with the robotic arms, and Deku kept on dodging them and even broke one of them, but eventually got, electrocuted almost to death by Electro. Electro grabbed the man and pretty much they got out of there fast in a hurry, grabbing a very, you know, particular weird looking briefcase. Deku with his last bit of strength runs over there at top speed, almost going past, almost going past about as faster than a motorcycle, pretty much running towards, them at top speeds, grabbing a little bit of, the stuff out of the suitcase before they closed it, and seeing that it was some sort of goo. But Deku gets electrocuted again, and Electro grabs the goo from Deku's hand, saying that I can't let you have any of this, kid. And pretty much they, run off. So Deku, after, waking up, it's about near the morning time, before his mom wakes up for to go to work. So Deku gets back up in a hurry, and is looking around. So Deku gets back up and starts running off. So Deku sees that, the police are showing up at the burned building, and Deku did not get burned. The firefighters showed up and watered down the building, and that's when, Deku woke up. And it was about 6 o'clock in the morning. So Deku wept out of there fast and in a hurry, and also went inside the water, underneath the water of the docks where the explosion building was at, and pretty much started swimming around and swimming away from, the pro heroes, getting back to his building and picking up his vigilante suit and, disseminating it or discontaminating it. He walks into his room with his hair wet and pretty much dries off, takes a shower, and gets ready for the next day of school. Now, Deku's, kind of tired, but he can go one more day without sleep. So, Deku smirks at himself and says, well, I did something good today, but I still have to figure out what they were doing with those things. So, I'm going to leave it off here, guys. So, guys, in part 3, I will be, going a little bit more in detail with, Mirako and Deku's relationship and how it would start. So, yeah, guys. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys later, bye. And I think this is actually my top 3 best what ifs, because I've done what if Deku was in a vampire and werewolf school, and also what if Deku had the Omnitrix, and also what if, Deku was Spider-Man, and also what if, whatchamacallit, what if Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was in the MCU. Now, I like all 4 of those what ifs very much, and I'm not going to end those. So, yeah. So, guys, just want to say, if you're here, you're OG, and thank you. And if you're not here, I don't know what to say because you're not here, but yeah. So guys, see you guys later, and as always, have a blessed day. Bye.